All right, today is day 41 of my 100 days of Keto Chow. Things are still going great. We had some neighbors come over for dinner. Well, originally we planned on one family, an older couple that's empty nesters, come over for dinner. And then the lady who lives across the street and her 3 children ended up coming to dinner too. So it was awesome. It was Lindsay. She's been on a previous Facebook Live that we've done. She's a type 1 diabetic. She's been doing keto since Thanksgiving. Is saving a ton of money on her medications and has way better glucose control. So the topic of dinner conversation was pretty much just keto. Mm-hmm. Which was, well, I guess that's what we do these days. So, but I had made some country style pork ribs.
They were delicious.
And they were supposed to be done in the crock pot, and I put them in Sunday morning. And when I checked them about 2 hours before dinner, it was, the center of it was still raw. So, Instant Pot to the rescue. I put them in there, set it for an hour, and then let it do the natural cool off or steam off or whatever. I learned the hard way that if you cook meat in an Instant Pot and do the quick release, it gets really tough. At least I did that, and someone said, what did you do? Release it fast. That makes it tough. I'm like, oh, and then it was like really tough. So this time I didn't, and it was literally falling apart. So
it was delicious.
Yep. And I sat there drinking my chocolate Keto Chow that I had heated up in a mug in the microwave, and it was good. It probably wasn't as good as the pork ribs, but that's okay. Science! Although Miriam will be happy to know that since Friday, I'm actually up 2 pounds.
I'm not happy to know that.
Which is kind of funny because since Friday, I've been eating the same stuff. In fact, about the only difference was yesterday I didn't eat breakfast. I was fasting, and I completely forgot to eat a third meal, so I only ate 2 meals yesterday. And it's funny that my weight was up. It's variable, so it's kind of funny to see it go up and down, apparently not much in relation to what I'm eating. Could be a lot to do with what I'm drinking. So Miriam is about to put some real lemon, the powdered real lime, into her diet soda. Anyhow, today I think I'm going to be finishing up the packaging for the new packaging for the samples that has the new Keto Chow logo on it, unlike this shirt that has the old logo on it. And I think as soon as we get that ready to go, I'm going to put in an order for more samples. We just got samples. We'll be getting the second half of those samples in March sometime. But I don't want to run out again. This morning we had a lot of orders, like really a lot, and one of our employees took the day off, which is, well, it's Saturday. It's not Saturday. Today's Monday. Mondays are crazy. They're especially crazy when we finally have samples in, and so everybody's ordering samples. So that's why we came in, Miriam and the kids and we came in on Saturday to try to get a few more samples ready so that we could have them ship out and people wouldn't get delayed. We have a policy that we only put stuff in stock when we actually have it, and we ship out all of the orders every day. Yeah, there are no back orders, there are no pre-orders, it's just orders. Some people get frustrated that we don't do pre-orders when we're out of stock on something. The idea is that we're never out of stock, but if we are out of stock, I don't want to lead people along, and that's one of the reasons we don't do pre-orders, but also we don't do pre-orders because the credit card processing companies, they get really upset if you take someone's money and don't ship something within 30 days. And a lot of the times when we're out of stock on something, we do not have any idea when we're finally going to get it. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be that we've been told it's a week from now and it ends up being 3 months from now, as happened with the samples. So that's why we don't do pre-orders. Anyway, it would have been really bad to have a whole bunch of pre-orders for samples for like 3 months and have that be on the books when we went to a new year. And I don't even want to get my accountant involved in figuring out all the logistical nightmare that would cause. But and then having people with an open order for that long, and then we'd have to contact them and say, do you still want your order? And yeah. So yeah. What else is going on today, Mary? We need to have our stand-up meeting where we talk about what's going on.
We have had a kind of a rough morning because there's a snowstorm yesterday.
Yeah.
So
everyone's been late.
Yeah.
Well, and Miriam had to take our youngest to school, and it took her wasn't it like 45 minutes to go like 2 miles?
Yeah, it took me 20 minutes to go like a mile.
Yeah.
It took 5 minutes to get him to school, but then it took me 20 minutes to get here.
Yeah. Well,
and we live 5 minutes away.
Yeah, so Miriam she left, and I was still snow blowing the driveway and the walks, listening to Dr. Bret Scher on the Diet Doctor podcast.
Oh yeah, we need to call him.
I actually did.
Oh, nice.
I contacted him today. He's one of the ones that we've invited to the conference that we're doing in April, but he wasn't sure whether he would be able to make it or not. And I've got a few other people who would be really good to take his spot if he's not going to come. So I told him, hey, if you can't make it, no big deal. If you can, great. Anyway, so I listened to that, and I was still snow blowing for a good 10-15 minutes after Miriam left, and listening to my podcast, which was great because I had the big earmuff things on, which messes up my hair, but I just come in and comb my hair again. But once I got here to work, I was the first person here, and I was kind of worried that you had gotten in an accident. I was going to call you, but I'm like, I don't want to call when she's driving. So anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on today. Tomorrow is day 42, which coincides with the number of days I did my last experiment, 42 days, which is 6 weeks. That'll mean that from tomorrow on will be the longest that I personally have gone with just Keto Chow and no other food. I do know some other people, Beverly, she's been posting her experience doing the 100 days of Keto Chow. She's done, I think, over 160 days of straight Keto Chow before. But this will be the longest I've gone. So it's been interesting and it's been fine. So anyway, I'll catch you on day 42.